This is assignment module 1. This is the first time you're going out there to do research and prepare an APA reference with a little bit of an annotation in this course. This is absolutely how it should look. In every course, I will have an example of what it should look like. So make sure your piece looks like it. In my instructions, I tell you in exhaustive detail about margins and whatnot, but let me go over that here. In APA style, your margins will be 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch. Easy to remember. Then you're going to only use one of two fonts. You can choose Times New Roman or Arial. Times New Roman or Arial. One or the other. Never, ever, ever mix fonts. Your font size is 12 points. Never, ever change it. 12 points. Times New Roman 12 or Arial 12. Arial 12. I'm using Times New Roman. Now, this is how I'd like your heading to go. And it should include Module 1, Fall 22. The database I chose for this, in your assignment, you'll see you can choose two, PubMed or JSTOR. In this, I use PubMed. I have a thesis. My thesis may be exciting at this point. Yours could be artificial intelligence, impact on nurses, automated functions in agriculture. It doesn't have to be perfect. Let's just throw something out there so we can attach some keywords. So I went to do my search, and from my search, I pulled out these keywords from PubMed, actually. And this is the article I found. And I found this article in PubMed in full text. This article, every article you bring, every piece that you bring, source you bring into this course absolutely has to be full text. Abstracts are not acceptable as research unless you're researching abstracts, which does happen, by the way. So I've put this in APA order. You've done at least one video on this, and I have links in the assignment about what a journal article should look like. It's going to be last name, first initials, and if there's a string, it's going to be connected by an ampersand, not AND. You list up to 20 authors. That's right, 20 authors can be listed here and should be. And I provided a link for you to look at the different type of author issues that you come up to. My assignment cannot be all one size fits all. The date is going to be in parentheses and ends with a period. If it has a date, it'd be 2022, January. In APA, the month is never ever abbreviated. So if it's January, it's spelled out in full. March, spelled out in full. November, the whole word. The next thing we worry about is the title. When I found this title, it did need a little bit of work. This is the main rule for titles. It is in sentence case. That means nothing is capitalized but the first word, a word that follows a colon, or a proper noun or noun phrase. In my case, identity and survey are the only things that should be capitalized. This is the name of the journal. It is in title case. That means the F and the R are capitalized because it is a title. But title case doesn't capitalize things like prepositions, articles, or conjunctions. You'll note it's in italics. The volume number is also in italics. Sometimes this is hard to see. But your journal name and volume number and a journal article in APA will be italicized. Directly next to it, no spaces, is the issue number. Period. Now, if I had page numbers beginning to end, I would have added it here. If there was no issue number, I would have ended it there with a period. And this is the digital object identifier. And then I did a little bit of a substantive 28 words. You will have a word count in your assignment to follow, and you'll also always have an example to look at. What I mean by substantive, please be descriptive. Don't say, I found this article that will fit my topic. No. Say, I found this research article that covers the following things, does this, proves that, and questions the following. It could be something like that. Be descriptive. Tell me what it's really about. No generalities. And this is going to stand you in good stead as you go through the course. Now we're going to actually look at researching PubMed and also JSTOR. Now, why would you pick one over the other? Well, PubMed is primarily going to be about medicine, health, and some psychology, and some social issues as they may have to do with community health. If you're working on something outside that area, you might want to select JSTOR instead. The reason I put this choice in at the top, I want you to know not all databases do all things. They're very specialized. You will have different results. Some of you might be able to find articles in both. Some of you may only be able to find an article in one or the other. But you only need one, and I would like it to be scholarly. At this point, I'm not going to really be hard about what that scholarly article means because we'll cover it in depth later. But do try to make sure it has an abstract. It probably should have multiple authors. It will have sections. It will give you a hypothesis, an introduction. It's going to have references. It's probably more than 5 pages. So right now, let's kind of stay with that. And when I respond to what you found, I will talk about it personally with you further. Some of you may select PubMed. And this is what it will look like here. This will be the URL, but I wanted to show you that PubMed is a free search engine. And it mostly uses things from Medline, and you can identify things that are full text in it. And one of the great things about it is that it is a curated database in that a lot of the selections have been peer-reviewed, gone over, and not every medical article, health article, other, will make it into PubMed. When you come to it, it's going to have this really big Google-like search. I'm just going to go into it with our main topic, all of us share. And you'll see that there's 951 documents. So I'm going to put this. I'm going to try to get some sort of scholarly type article. Make sure you check these, and I will also check this. This doesn't make it a scholarly research article. We'll talk about that later in Module 3. So you'll see here the article. You're going to have to cite this, so this is a really interesting piece. Make sure you change the format to APA, and what you're going to do is to make sure that you copy and correct it. If we just went over this previously, so you might notice that this is wrong. Nothing should be capitalized here except for identity and survey, because titles in APA are sentence case. In this case, the journal name, it is in title case. This is sentence case. This is title case, in case I said that backwards. And the F and the R should be capitalized in the journal or the publication name. This is not necessary. We would use beginning and ending page numbers. You would end this here with a period and then go to the digital object identifier. Awesome, correct? So remember to copy and correct. Make sure it is full text. This is absolutely an awesome abstract, but unless you're researching abstracts, make sure you actually go to the full text. And this here is the full text, and I'm able to read everything and look at the method and the survey design, how they were able to gather this information. So this makes this as a very rich piece of research for me to use in my artificial intelligence project. That's how yours should sort of look as well, to give you an example. Now we're going to look at JSTOR. This is JSTOR. When you go on, if you're going on to another college, they may have the paid version of this. This happens to be a free version you can find online. Now I'm going to type in my piece, artificial intelligence. Maybe I will put in work and see what it comes up with. Let me click the piece. The enter button didn't necessarily work on this. So here we are. We have 10,000 results. The thing about JSTOR is it does bring up a rich amount of results. So let's look at content type. I want to make sure I'm only looking at journals. And this brings it down to something manageable. I could also go up here and add more words. What you're looking for here is not everything, just like PubMed, not everything's available to you for free. So make sure you see where it says download. You'll have to accept a little piece and you'll be able to read the full text. You're looking for open access and free. So as you go through here, you might also be able to pick up some other words that would be useful for your keywords. I have found that automation and artificial intelligence, for instance, are really big words that could be used interchangeably to sort of mean the same thing. So you might want to definitely put automation in your keywords. So I think this will make sense to you. This will also have a citation part. Let me go into one that allows me to download. You will see, I've already accepted seeing it, and it's going to take me to the PDF eventually. I'm having a little download thing here, but eventually it will take you to it as well. I'm going to go back to the search results. It does have a cite piece. You can select for APA. And again, in this case, the thing that's going to be wrong is going to be the capitalization. Nothing should be capitalized except for the G in this particular one. The American Journal of Psychology is correct. It is in title case. The prepositions of and things of that nature, articles, prepositions, and conjunctions in title case in a journal are not capitalized. This gives us the italicized volume number, the issue number in parentheses, beginning and ending page numbers, and the DOI. So I hope that makes sense. And that is how you'll do the research for this particular piece.